This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. There are two of my videos. By my assessment, they are archive worthy. In other words, someone might want to go back into dated Uber and listen to them. And there are only two. The rest of them I think people only listen to because they're fresh, and they are not archive worthy. However, the two that are archive worthy are Two Phones and Boost. Boost is intended to answer that question: am I getting paid properly for Boost? That's in my YouTube channel, Uber Boost. All the other videos that are not archive worthy have the same redundant title as this one. The other one that has a distinguished title is Two Phones. And today is a classic example. I'm able to do these videos while I'm doing my delivery. So I can record, I can add the visual later, and I do that all on a second phone. Now on this occasion, I'm standing, New York City treats people the same way they treat pigeons. They don't want people to roost. So all the seats are taken. This is a high volume, I think the second highest land terminal in the city. I think 500,000 passengers a day, and there is no place to sit. The few seats that there are at this Starbucks are people who have been camping out for what looks like a long time. So I'm standing recording this, and the second phone makes it very easy. This higher quality phone that I'm using is not the kind of phone that I would want to beat up, sliding in and out of this abusive pouch, dropping, taking deliveries, and I want to be more gentle on a piece of equipment that can do what I'm doing now. So those are the two videos that are archive worthy. One is called Two Phones and the other is called Boost. The others, like this, have the same redundant name again and again. Tonight, 3 deliveries. Actually, finishing this week, it was absolutely awesome. I had slack time in New York City. I finished my banking at like 1 o'clock. I got till 6 o'clock, which is where I'll meet my wife and go home. So I put the phone on, and for the first time, I get, in other words, in all my previous deliveries, I was at 9 New York City deliveries up until today, and all my previous deliveries came really slow. Well, today they came along pretty quickly. So I had one that was from Juicery, a Kai salad to a woman who was working late. So it was a delivery to a commercial building. Those are different because you don't go up, the people come down. It's kind of funny. The woman answered the phone and said, "I'm coming down." And she obviously knew it was the delivery person, and she said it in a way that, my wife would have said it to me. It was kind of funny. "I'm coming down." And with all the sexual harassment today, and the people that have deemed a workplace as an appropriate place to prospect for sex, it just seems sort of funny. So that was the first one. The second one was a Chinese place. I want to call it bubble tea, but there weren't any bubbles. There weren't any of the starch bubbles of the bubble tea, but they were sealed like the bubble tea is. And I took those to a resident with what looked like a Chinese name in the 40th floor of the Trump building. Now, in that building, like you usually go up in residential buildings, that building is surrounded with federal security with guns that, look like these men are ready to go to war with helmets and bulletproof vests and these high-powered rifles. And so I got directed around to the side and gave it to the door woman. It's not a door woman. She works the desk, and I didn't have to go up. The third one, I go into probably the highest old money area of Manhattan, and it is a cultural change going into this Upper East Side, Madison Avenue. Hermes is up there. The old Whitney is there, and I went to a restaurant that the food wasn't ready. It wasn't confirmed, so the order wasn't even put in. So I called the customer and I said, "Do you want to cancel?" And she didn't want to cancel. She wanted me to deliver. So I waited for her food. And when I delivered the food, I had it in my backpack. I keep it because I go through the trouble to keep this backpack to keep hot food hot, and I want people to know that I took the trouble to do that. So the food is still on my back when she opens the door, and she opens the door and lunges across just like she's going to blindly snatch the bag out of my hand and rudely slam the door behind her. But the food is still in my backpack. So it just, from the restaurant to the expectations to the rudeness, I don't mind not getting tipped. If people do something that indicates they're appreciative of what I've done for them. I brought them food. They didn't have to go out. It's cold. This woman did the opposite of showing appreciation, and I delivered probably $40 of food to her, and to date, about 2 hours after the delivery, she has yet to tip. So that's standard. So two things about New York City. One, people treated like pigeons. They are not allowed to roost, which is why I'm doing this audio for the video. I'll add the visual later. Standing in a high traffic Port Authority bus terminal in New York City near the Lincoln Tunnel. And the second one is the Upper East Side. It's still the old bad habits of old money. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.